Welcome, Member Forge. If you're available for a mic check, will you please unmute?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. And can we check your video too, please?
Okay. Can you see me?
I see you. You're all
Okay,
set.
great. Good. Thank you. I was concerned. Here's Marilyn now. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. And Member Chan, if you're available for a mic check, will you please unmute?
Unmuted.
I hear you. Can we check your video too, please?
Oh, there we are.
There you are. All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Safety briefing this morning. In the instance that there is any kind of disturbance in the audience, we would ask that the board president would put the board into recess temporarily while Investigator Pita and I address any incidents that might occur out here in the audience. In the instance that there is a critical incident, we would ask that you evacuate through that doorway back over there behind you, out the hall, down the way to the right, and exit into the parking lot. Audience members, board members, board staff, in the instance of a critical incident, we would ask you to exit either through that exit door or the exit door in the back, make your way out into the parking lot, away from Investigator Pita and myself. That concludes my safety brief for today. We have one more brief announcement. I would like to introduce Investigator Juan Pita. He's our newest investigator. He joined the board about 2 months ago, and he'll be assisting me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
It is almost 10:30. DCA moderator, can you please confirm that the webcast is on and ready to begin?
WebEx is ready. We are recording and streaming.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this Dental Board of California meeting. My name is Dr. Lilia Larin, and I'm president of the board. Today is Thursday, February 5th, 2026. The board meeting is being held via teleconference with the disclosed in-person location available for board and public member participation. For all those who wish to participate online, please log on to the WebEx website provided on the posted agenda for this meeting. Instructions to connect to the meeting are provided on the agenda. During each call for comments from board members and speakers, we will ensure that all comments that can be accommodated are heard before proceeding with the agenda. This is an official business meeting of the Dental Board of California. The board welcomes public comments on any items on the agenda, and it is in the board's intent to ask for public comments prior to the board taking action on any agenda item. Please be mindful of the words and tone you use when sharing your thoughts. We understand that issues discussed here may be deeply personal and frustrating, especially when we find ourselves on opposite sides of an issue. But even in disagreement, we ask that everyone engage respectfully. Let's aim for a dialogue that is constructive rather than contentious. Please remember that every process, discussion, and decision undertaken by this board is grounded in our mission to protect consumers. That remains at the heart of all we do. The DCA moderator will explain the process for providing public comment shortly. For individuals participating via WebEx, when called upon, the moderator will give individual permission to unmute themselves, and they will have 2 minutes to make public comment. The moderator will audibly announce when 30 seconds remain to conclude the public comment. After the 2 minutes have lapsed, the individual will be placed back on mute. Only one public comment per agenda item is allowed per attendee. We ask all speakers to please stay on topic and not repeat testimony already provided. If you agree with testimony already provided, please just state your name and that you are in support of any comments previously provided. I would now like to ask the DCA moderator to please explain how public comment will be taken during this meeting.
All right, when public comment is called for, we're going to show a visual on the screen just like this, and we're going to ask everyone to raise their hands if they wish to make a comment. You can do that by tapping the hand button at the bottom of the screen. If you're on a regular computer, a mobile device should be very similar. Maybe you need to hit the ... For our dial-in users, you will need to dial *3 to raise your hand. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Okay, this meeting is called to order. Can I do this? There are 2 board members participating in this meeting remotely. Each board member participating remotely must disclose whether there are any individuals 18 years or older present in the room at the remote location with the board member, and the general nature of the member's relationship with any such individuals. Dr. Forge, is there anyone 18 years of age or older present in the room with you at your remote location?
No.
Thank you. Dr. Chan, is there anyone 18 years of older or present in the room with you at your remote location?
No.
Thank you. Board members participating remotely are reminded that they must visibly appear on camera during the open portion of the meeting. If the remote member experiences any trouble with visibly appearing on camera, the member shall announce the reason for their non-appearance when they turn off their camera, such as due to challenges with internet connectivity. I will now ask the board secretary to please call the roll. Mr. Durkin?
Thank you, Madam President. This is John Deerking, Board Secretary. I will now call the roll. Chan?
Chan here.
Chan present. Chang?
Chang present.
Chang present. David?
David present.
John Deerking is present. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld present.
Felsenfeld present. Forge?
Forge present.
Forge present. Graywall?
Graywall present.
Graywall present. Larin?
Larin present?
Larin present. And present. Medina? Medina present. Olage?
Olagi present.
Olage present. Takur?
Takur present.
Takur present. Vaderholble?
Vaderholble present.
Vaderholble present. And you?
You present.
Madam President, we have a quorum.
Thank you. We will now move on to agenda item number 2, public comment on items not on the agenda on page 7 of your meeting materials. Before we open public comment on matters not on the agenda, I would like to remind individuals making comments to not discuss pending complaints, pending licensing applications, or pending disciplinary actions that may later come before the board for a decision. Such discussions are considered ex parte communications as they could provide information to the board members that is outside of the record in violation of the Administrative Procedure Act. Such discussions could create a conflict and lead to a board decision being challenged in Superior Court. Accordingly, if any individual makes comments on a pending disciplinary matter, the individual will be interrupted. The board can, of course, receive comments regarding to the board's processes in general, but it cannot receive comments on specific case circumstances where the decision is still pending. In addition, public comments should address the board as a whole and not individual members. Please be aware that public comments during this agenda item should provide information to the board members, but it's not a discussion between the board and members and the public. The only action board members can take right now is to listen to comments and decide whether they want a future agenda item on the topic. Though this may seem at times like the board members are not being responsive, following these guidelines is critical to ensure the rules of the Open Meeting Act are followed to avoid compromising the speaker's goals or the board's mission. In the interest of time, as we have done in the past, we would like to request that public comments not repeat statements made by the prior commentator. If you are in support of a statement made by a prior individual and your comments have already been made, please just state your name and association and your support for the previous commenter. Legislative hearings regularly use this practice. It is a good way to ensure that we can hear from everyone today. Are there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comments.
All right, WebEx, now is the time to raise your hand for comments not on the agenda. If you'd like to make a comment, you can tap that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand. And our first request is coming from Dr. Sheetal Patel. Hold on just a moment, please. We're sending you a request to unmute your microphone.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Patel. If you're ready,
Yes.
please proceed.
Hi. Good morning, Chair, members of the Dental Board. My name is Sheetal Patel, and I'm the Legislative Chair for the California Association of Orthodontists. I'd like to begin by congratulating Board President Lilia Larkin and the Executive Officer, Mr. Bryce Doherty, for their new leadership roles. CAO looks forward to working closely with you both in the years ahead. CAO represents approximately 1,500 participating orthodontists across California, and we regularly engage in the Dental Board and the legislature on issues impacting orthodontic practices and patient care. We want to thank the board for its ongoing stakeholder engagement process, particularly around updating the table of duties and aligning the statute with the regulation. We had more than a dozen of CAO members weigh in on this process and appreciate the opportunity to continue engaging as orthodontic assistant duties are reviewed. We also want to thank specifically Tina Valerie for her continued engagement and frequent communication with our organization. Her efforts have been greatly appreciated and have helped us work productively with the board. CAO views itself as a resource to the Dental Board, and we welcome the continued collaboration on any orthodontic
30
practice
seconds.
issues. Executive Officer Doherty, we would also welcome the opportunity to meet with you in near future, and our team will follow up accordingly. Thank you again, and we look forward to a collaborative and productive year ahead under your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Patel. Are there any other comments from the WebEx?
There are no other requests for public comment from WebEx.
Thank you. We will now move on to agenda item 3, discussion and possible action on board meeting minutes on page 8. There are 2 sets of minutes we're going to be approving today. One is for November 5th and that was from strategic planning, and then 6th and 7th. Later on, we're going to do the November 5th first. Is there any board member discussion on November 5th, 2025 meeting minutes?
This is Dr. Chan.
Dr. Shan, thank you.
On page 12 of 18, or the meeting materials 22 of 252, just for accuracy, midway, where it says Ms. Bell received 3 nominations for 2026 board president, just for accuracy, President Chan, who expressed reluctance with the nomination since at the time reappointment was uncertain. Thank you.
Did you want to add something, Dr. Chan, to the minutes?
That the nomination was uncertain because reappointment was uncertain.
Okay, so would you like to revise the minutes?
Yes.
Amend them? Okay. So are you making a motion with an amendment?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to state your motion?
The motion is on page 12 of 18. On the line that says Ms. Bell received 3 nominations. President Chan expressed reluctance on the nomination due to uncertainty of reappointment.
Okay, are you commenting on the November 5th or the November 6th and 7 minutes? Thank you.
The 5th,
The 5th.
that's correct. No,
Okay.
6th. I'm sorry, 6th.
6 and 7, okay, right now we're on the November 5th minutes. Thank you. So do we have a motion, any other comments on the November 5th minutes?
You motion to pass.
Second?
Second.
Okay, Medina, second. So any in-person public comments on the motion? Yeah, are there any public comments on individuals participating with WebEx?
WebEx, now is the time to raise your hand if you have a comment on the motion. You can tap the hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial in users, dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a few seconds now to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no requests, do you wish to continue with the motion?
Thank you. Board Secretary, please call the roll and record the vote on the motion.
Thank you. The motion is to approve the board meeting minutes from November 5th, 2025. I will now call the roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Chang?
Chang, aye.
Chang, aye. David?
David abstain.
Stain? Deerking? Aye. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, aye.
Felsenfeld, aye. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, aye. Graywell?
Graywall, aye.
Graywell, aye. Ladin?
Ladin, aye.
Ladin, aye. Medina?
Medina, aye.
Medina, aye. Olage?
Malagi, aye.
Olage, aye. Takur?
Takur, aye.
Takur, aye. Vaderhobley?
Vaderhobley, aye.
Vaderhobley, aye. You?
You, aye.
You, aye. Madam President, the motion passed.
Thank you.
12-4, 1 abstain.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dearkin. Now we're going to look at the November 6 and 7 minutes. Do we have a motion to pass the minutes? And I know Dr. Chan wanted to make an amendment. So can you please repeat the motion, Mr. Chan? Dr. Chan, sorry.
So the amendment is on page 12 of 18, or the meeting materials 22, page 22, midway, that President Chan expressed reluctance on the nomination for president due to uncertainty of reappointment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Chang second. Okay, is there any additional board comments? Seeing none, are there any in-person public comments?
Tara Welch, Board Counsel, and just for clarity for the meeting minutes, the motion is to approve the November 6 and 7, 2025 meeting minutes as amended on page 22. Is that correct?
Dr.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, so there was a second. So are there any other comments from the board? Seeing none, are there any in-person public comments on the motion? Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
WebEx, now is the time to raise your hand if you wish to comment on the motion. You can do so by tapping that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial in users, dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment longer to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request, you wish to continue with the motion?
Thank you. Board Secretary, Mr. Dearkin, can you please repeat the motion? And take the roll.
Yes, the motion is to approve, as amended, the board meeting minutes from November 6th, 2025. The amendment is on page 22.
Thank you.
I'll
The vote?
now call the roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Chan, aye. Chang?
Chang, I.
Chang, aye. David?
David, I.
David, aye. Deerking, aye. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, I.
Felsenfeld, aye. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, aye. Graywell?
Grewal, I.
Graywell, aye. Larin?
Larin, aye.
Larin, aye. Medina?
Medina, I.
Medina, aye. Olage?
Olagi, I.
Olage, aye. Takur?
Takur, I.
Takur, aye. Vaderhobley?
Waterhobley, I.
Vaderhobley, aye. You?
You, I.
You, aye. Madam President, the motion passed unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Deerkin. We'll now move on to agenda item 4, Board President Report, page 29. Good afternoon. It is truly a privilege to serve as Board President this year. I would like to begin by thanking Dr. Chan for his service as the 2025 Board President and Dr. Felsenfeld for his service as Vice President. Both have been exceptional leaders and mentors. It is a pleasure to work with all of our other dedicated board members and staff. I would also like to recognize Ms. Christy Bell for her leadership and dedicated service as interim executive director and to thank her for her continued support during this transition. Congratulations to the following board members that have been reappointed: Angelita Medina, Joni Forge, Stephen Chan, Rosalindo Lage, and myself. I would like to welcome and introduce at this time our new executive officer, Bryce Doherty, you said? This is the first meeting with the board, and we are pleased to have him with us. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'll reserve the rest of my comments for my report. Thank you, Madam President.
Vice President Olage and I have been holding very informative weekly meetings with Mr. Doherty, and we look forward to continuing this collaboration. I would also like to note that Vice President Olage and I are serving as the first pair of women on the Board Executive Committee. And first Latina. Woo! We look forward to advancing the board's mission together with dedication and collaboration. On January 12th, I had the opportunity to visit the dental board headquarters and met with our outstanding staff. We are fortunate to have such dedicated teams supporting the board's work every day. On January 27, 2026, I had the pleasure of delivering a motivational address to the San Isidro NYU Langone pediatric residents focusing on leadership and resilience. So at this time, I would like to announce our 2026 committee appointments. The dental board statutory committees are as follows. Diversion Evaluation Committee, we have Curtis Vixie and Michael Shaw. Elective Facial Cosmetic Surgery Permit Credentialing Committee headed by Peter Shear and Anil Punjabi. Enforcement Committee, Kevin Cheng and Bram Vaderhobley. Examinations Committee, Dr. Olage and myself. Dental Assistant Council Chair Jerry Fowler and Vice President and Deandra Epps Robbins, thank you. And the two board representatives for DAC are Rosalinda Olage and myself. And our Specific Needs Committee, which is a different type of committee, is the Access to Care Committee. Those is Yogita Thakur and Angelita Medina. Legislative and Regulatory Committees, Robert David and Jaskering Gruel. Substance Use Awareness Committee, John Deerking. Anesthesia Committee, Ellen Felsenfeld and Stephen Chan, and I know you do a lot of work with that committee also. And the Sunset Review Committee, we only use it as needed. Now we have a committee that we're going to remove, which is the Licensing and Certifications Committee. We haven't used it in a long time, so we're just going to be eliminating that this year. We have a new committee, which is very important, I think, and it's also in a strategic plan. I just noticed that communications will be a big part of our plan. So we have a new committee headed by James Yu and Joni Forge, the Editorial and Communications Committee. And the American Board, this is not a committee, but it's just representation on the American Board of Dental Examiners Council on Examinations. They are, myself, I'm representing dentists on on the ADEX Council that develops and designs the exam for dentists. And Ms. Joanne Pacheco will be representing the hygienist. They need a hygienist and a dentist to be represented. And they make changes to the board exam, to the ADEX exam, and the states, individual states has to vote for the changes. So I think it's an important committee also. This year, my goal is to create more opportunities for board members to actively be involved in committee work and other board activities. This will allow everyone to contribute their expertise and collaborate on meaningful projects. At our next board meeting in May, we will provide a more detailed update on committee plans and activities. Finally, I truly look forward to working alongside our wonderful board members, staff, and stakeholders as we continue to advance the board's mission. With everyone's support and collaboration, I am confident this will be a productive and rewarding year. Thank you. At this time, I would like to hand the microphone over to Dr. Alan Felsenfeld. He has a few words to say.
I'm going to stand back here and I'll use my outside voice so that we can. Okay.
You can sit there.
No, I don't want to sit, I want to stand. Dr. Chan is on with us. He's had an unfortunate issue and cannot be here, so I am going to be speaking. Actually, you could do the speaking, Steve, and I could do the, never mind. I'm going to be speaking to you for just about 3 minutes. I'm going to ask Miss Christy Bell to come on up here. I know that you're shy. I know you don't want to. Come on up, Christy. Dr. Chan and I, just like Drs. Lorin and Alagi, are going to every week a meeting with Christy in this case, or Ms. Bell in this case, because that's what the executive committee does. And that way they learn about the different problems that are going on, and look at strategies and try to help guide the organization as things go along. In doing so, we learn all about the different things that go on in this place. This is a huge board with lots of moving parts, as Dr. Chan likes to say. They have about 80 employees. We have anywhere between 9 and 13 or 14 members of the board. We have DCA to deal with. We have legal to deal with. We have the stakeholders to deal with. We have the member dentists and dental assistants to deal with. And we have to deal with the public in general. All of this weighs heavily on the job of the executive officer. Christy has done this in such a nice way, all at the same time, balancing the fact that she's still the assistant executive director and had different types of jobs to do. Steve and I truly appreciate all that she has done. She has kept us in line. She has kept us going down the track at good speed as we needed to. So in memory of that, commemoration of that, we have a gift for you. It's not a $10,000 check. It's not a trip to Hawaii or a new car. But it is a little poster that we created, Steve and I created for you, that you can hang anywhere you wish. And it shows what she has been doing. Can you see it in the back? It shows what she has been doing for the last year. 25 was a difficult year for us. We had a lot of things going on, and she did a wonderful job of not only juggling, but staying up on that ball. So we thank her very, very much. Okay, thank you. It's much better at the bags. Okay, thank you, Christine. Yes, Christine, this is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Felsenfeld, and thank you, Christy, from the entire board. You do a wonderful job. Let's see, what's next? So are there any board member discussion on the president's report?
Just a comment for Christy. For those that can't see what the poster is, it's a person that's juggling balls while balancing as they're moving forward. Christy, don't run away from us to the circus.
Thank you, Dr. Chan. Okay, so are there any in-person public comments on the agenda for the president's report? How about any public comments on individuals participating on WebEx?
All right, WebEx, we're open for public comment on agenda item 4. If you'd like to make a comment, tap that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a few seconds now to see if we have a request. for public comment? Seeing no request, you wish to continue with the agenda?
Thank you. We will now move on to agenda item 5, Executive Officer Report, page 30. Mr. Doherty.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning. This has been a wonderful meeting. I guess motion to adjourn. But in all seriousness, it's a pleasure being here. It's wonderful to have the seal of the great state of California behind me as opposed to in front of me and sitting at the table. But first, I'd like to thank and congratulate Ms. Medina, Ms. Alagi, Drs. Forge and Chan, and you, Madam President, on your recent reappointments to the board. Second, congratulations to you, Madam President, on your election to the Executive Committee, as well as the election of Board Vice President Ms. Alagi and Board Secretary Mr. Deerking. I very much look forward to a productive year, and thank you again for giving me the august opportunity to serve you and the dental consumers of California as the executive officer of the board. I would also like to thank and acknowledge former Board President Chan and Board Vice President Felsenfeld. Your leadership will be felt for years to come. You both were very firm but fair with me throughout the executive officer recruitment and interview process. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your laughter during my onboarding process. I would also be remiss if I too didn't pile on a little bit with regards to the steadfast leadership and steady guidance of our Assistant Executive Officer, Christy Bell. Not only was she performing her job and the interim executive officer job simultaneously, which is remarkable, but her insights, patience with me, and her fidelity to the board is second to none. Thank you, Christy. Lastly, thank you to the board staff. You all rock. The board and our office are lucky to have every single one of you. I am routinely astonished at your commitment to getting it right. I'm to getting it right and the pride you take in serving the dental consumers of California. I truly appreciate all that you do for the Dental Board of California. As I mentioned during my interview process, regular and ongoing communication is critical to our success. To that end, I've instituted weekly one-on-one check-in meetings with each of my direct report staff, including Assistant Executive Officer Christy Bell, Legislative and Regulatory Specialist Brant Nelson, Enforcement Unit Chief Ryan Blanian, and our 2 dental consultants. I've also continued the tradition started by Drs. Chan and Dr. Felsenfeld by meeting weekly with Board President Larin and Board Vice President Ms. Olagi. I, along with the AEO Christy Bell, attend monthly meetings with the Department of Consumer Affairs Acting Director Christine Lawley and Deputy Director of Board and Bureau Relations Lucia Saldivar. I also wanted to highlight a bit of good news contained in our packet under Agenda Item 10 regarding the budget update that you'll be hearing from our Administrative Services Unit Supervisor, Wilbert Rumbao. I, Christy Bell, along with Wilbert and his team, have been keeping a strategic watchful eye on our org chart and all personnel matters. I'm pleased to report we have a healthy retention rate and only a 6% vacancy rate. Furthermore, the board currently has almost 15 months of operating reserves. This is remarkable, as a healthy reserve balance is somewhere between 6 to 9 months. This is a real testament to how financially prudent and judicious the board and staff are with the licensing fees and various other fees we collect. In my capacity as executive officer, I attend some additional noteworthy meetings and engagements, and I have attended those since our last meeting. On December 6th, I met with my counterpart at the California Dental Hygiene Board, Anthony Lum, at the Dental Board headquarters on Evergreen. We discussed our ongoing strategic alliance and tradition of attending each other's board meetings. On December 9th, I, along with Dr. Chan, attended the Department of Consumer Affairs quarterly board leadership meeting at DCA headquarters hosted by and now retired DCA Director Kimberly Kirkmeyer. This meeting included all DCA boards and bureaus. I updated attendees on board operations and strategic objectives for 2026. On December 17th, Dr. Chan and I attended a DCA Health Board Controlled Substances Joint Forum hosted by the California State Board of Pharmacy at Sacramento State University. This joint forum on controlled substances and medications for opioid use disorder access, aptly titled Prescription and Patients Addressing Challenges, Finding Opportunities, not only included the Dental Board of California and the California State Board of Pharmacy, but also the Medical Board of California, the Osteopathic Medical Board of California, Physician Assistant Board of California, and the California Board of Registered Nursing. I'd like to give a special thank you to board staff, including Jody Ortiz, Kelly Garcia, and April Saison, who assisted in making sure the event ran smoothly. Attendance was limited and based on a first-come, first-served basis. The board had a strong showing of licensees participating in person and virtually, including our very own Dr. Alan Felsenfeld. On December 19th and January 8th, I attended a DCA Executive Officer onboarding workshop in person at DCA headquarters. As you know, most of my background is in legislative advocacy in and around the state capitol. Therefore, I've been spending a considerable amount of time assessing the status of board positions and priorities on several legislative matters. I've also been reintroducing myself to members of the state legislature and legislative staff in my new capacity as the executive officer of the board. I've been receiving a warm welcome and many congratulations and words of encouragement. Specifically, I met several times with Assembly and Senate Business and Professions Committee staff on pending legislation and proposed legislation, some of which we'll be discussing later today and tomorrow. I've also been working with Assemblymember Joaquin Arambula from Fresno on authoring this year a standalone board-sponsored cleanup legislation. I've worked directly with Assemblymember Arambula and his staff over the years on several legislative efforts. As some of you may know, Assemblymember Arambula is a former emergency physician from Fresno and currently one of only 3 physicians in the state legislature. Also noteworthy, the California State Senate has recently sworn in a new pro tem, Senator Monique Milamon from Santa Barbara, the first Latina to hold that position ever. I think I see a trend here, Madam President. As such, there have been several changes to the Senate leadership team and committees. For example, she has appointed a new chair of the Senate Business and Professions Committee and Economic Development Committee. Senator Aisha Wahab from Silicon Valley is their new chair of that committee. Thank you, Madam President, and notwithstanding any questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Do we have any board member comments on the officer's report? Officer comments, any in-person public comments? Are there any public comments for individuals participating on WebEx? DCA moderator?
All right, WebEx, we're taking public comment on agenda item 5. If you'd like to make a comment, tap that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment now to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no requests, you wish to continue with the agenda?
Thank you. Now we will move on to agenda item number 6, report on Department of Consumer Affairs activities, which may include updates on DCA's administrative services, human resources, enforcement, information technology, communications and outreach, as well as legislative, regulatory, and policy matters on page 31. I will ask Shelley Jones, DCA Board and Bureau Relations Assistant Deputy Director, to provide this report.
Good morning. It is still morning. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today. Before I get started with our list of reminders and information sharing, I did want to take a moment to welcome Bryce Dougherty as your new executive officer. We've spent some time with him already, and he's a wonderful addition to your board. I also wanted to congratulate members Olagi, Lorene, Forge, and Chan on your recent reappointments. We're very glad to have you joining us for another term. For the DCA executive team, we are excited to announce that Chief Deputy Director Christine Lawley has been named the acting director of the Department of Consumer Affairs. She enters this role following the retirement of DCA Director Kimberly Kirkmeyer. Director Lawley brings extensive experience to the position, having served in multiple leadership roles within the department since 2013. She will lead DCA in this position until a director is formally appointed by the governor's office. The DCA Executive Office would like to thank the board and staff for their hard work and partnership over this last year, and we're excited about 2026 and the many opportunities that await us. Or related to the governor's activities, on January 8th, Governor Newsom delivered his final State of the State address, reaffirming California's role as a national beacon for democracy and an economic engine with conscience, pushing back against federal overreach while boldly investing in jobs, education, affordability, climate action, and recovery from the Los Angeles wildfires. The following day, on January 9th, he delivered his proposed budget for 2026-27. The budget is balanced for the coming fiscal year, reflecting a surge in state revenues, forecasting more than $42 billion higher than projected at last year's enacted budget. The budget does not include new significant spending proposals. Instead, it builds on prior policy successes and continues to implement critical investments in priorities such as education, affordability, small businesses, wildfire mitigation, and more. And last month marked 1 year since the devastating firestorms that swept through Los Angeles County. California remains committed to helping survivors recover with an all-of-government approach, building on efforts that have accelerated recovery and supported communities. On this anniversary, DCA 2 reaffirms its commitment to support survivors and helping the community heal. And related to those fires, Governor Newsom took action to assist licensees affected by the Los Angeles fires and swiftly issued an executive order to allow a 1-year postponement of renewal fees for survivors impacted by the fires that were due for renewal between January and June of 2025. DCA began sending notices last month to licensees who renewed their license in 2025 and chose this postponement option, with a reminder about the 1-year postponement and renewal fee due dates. Licensees with license types in the Breeze system can pay these fees through their online account, while those not in Breeze may submit their payment via mail. We've mentioned in past meetings the governor's reorganization plan. As part of Governor Newsom's proposed 2025-2026 state budget, there was an inclusion for proposal to split DCA's oversight agency, the Business Consumer Services and Housing Agency, into 2 separate state agencies. They would be the California Housing and Homelessness Agency and the Business and Consumer Services Agency. The Little Hoover Commission and the legislature held hearings, and following those, the plan was enacted on July 5th of 2025. The new Business and Consumer Services Agency will be responsible for consumer affairs, licensing, and enforcement, and DCA will be among the 8 departments in this new agency. These 2 new agencies will officially become operative this July on the 1st. DCA continues to participate in multiple agency work groups on the logistics required to transition to the new agency, and will continue to keep Board and Bureau leadership apprised throughout the months ahead. Travel reminders. To best serve the public, it is incumbent upon all of us to ensure that we're being fiscally prudent in our travel decisions, especially when traveling for board business. DCA would like to remind members and staff to evaluate if rental cars are always necessary versus ride-sharing services. Carpooling is also highly encouraged when renting vehicles. We know that there may be new travel costs board members are experiencing as well, such as baggage charges. So please keep those receipts so that you can be reimbursed. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at Member Relations on those. With the kickoff of a new year, we also want to provide a reminder about Form 700 Statements of Economic Interest filings. These forms must be filed within 30 days of assuming you're leaving office, leaving your appointment, and then annually. This year's annual filing period covers the prior calendar year, which will be January 1st, 2025 through December 31st of 2025. And the deadline for filing is Wednesday, April 1st of 2026. To ensure compliance, DCA requests that Form 700 filers complete the e-filing by Friday, March 20th. And DCA board members, just as a reminder, must file electronically through FPPC's e-filing portal. The paper forms are no longer accepted. You should have received emails from FPPC by now, as well as one from myself with instructions on filing these forms. If you have any questions, just reach out and let me know. And finally, training, unconscious bias training. The training unit has developed unconscious bias training specifically for board members and your role. as board members. The training will be added to your LMS accounts this month, probably by next week, and incorporated into the onboarding process for all newly appointed board members. We also have our annual president's training coming up on February 24th. And this will be from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The virtual training is for board presidents, vice presidents, and advisory committee chairs and vice chairs. The virtual training serves as a forum to share best practices for presiding over a board or advisory committee, and you can register online through the department's LMS system. And then finally, board member orientation. Our 2026 dates have been released. This is an all-day training that's offered 3 times a year. This year it will be virtually on April 1st. We're shooting for an in-person one in June on the 24th here in Sacramento, and then another virtual training in October 21st. This training must be completed by board members within 1 year of appointment and reappointment to the board. You can register for that for the first available date to be in compliance, and you can do that through your LMS. Those trainings should have also been pushed out to your LMS transcripts. If you have any technical difficulties accessing the trainings or taking the trainings, please reach out to Member Relations and we'll help you through that. And that's all I have for today. So in closing, thank you, as always, for your dedicated service to protect California consumers. And thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Do we have any board member discussion on the item? No in-person comments? Any in-person public any public comments on individuals participating on WebEx?
All right, WebEx, now is the time to raise a hand if you wish to make a comment. You can do so by tapping that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a few seconds now to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no requests, do you wish to continue with the agenda?
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Thank you, Ms. Jones, again for being here. Okay, so we'll move on to agenda item number 7, presentation, discussion, and possible action on 2026-2029 strategic plan on page 32. Mr. Doherty, this is your agenda.
Thank you, Madam President. Before you for discussion and possible action today, starting on page 32 of the board packet, is the board 2026 through 2029 strategic plan. As you're all aware, the board met on November 5th of 2025 via publicly noticed meeting to engage in a strategic planning session. The meeting was facilitated by representatives from the Department of Consumer Affairs Solid Planning Solutions Unit, commonly referred to as SOLID. Prior to the meeting, board members received a copy of the environmental scan prepared by SOLID. The purpose of the environmental scan was to provide a better understanding of the board's performance in the following 4 goal areas. 1, licensing and examinations. 2, consumer protection and enforcement. 3, communication and customer service. And 4, administrative services. Some of these strategic initiatives are already underway, such as the aforementioned by you, Madam President, reassessment and reallocation of board committees to help promote efficient and effective board actions. Leading up to the strategic planning session, interviews with board members and board staff were conducted to assess upcoming potential challenges and opportunities. An online and anonymous external stakeholder survey was conducted in June of 2025, with nearly 1,000 responses received. As a result of that information and data, the final draft of the updated 2006 through 2009 Board Strategic Plan is presented to you for consideration. Therefore, the board is asked to take action and adopt the proposed 2026 through 2029 Strategic Plan. Thank you, Madam President, and that concludes my presentation on this agenda item.
Thank you. Do we have any board member discussion on this item?
Yes.
Dr. Felsenfeld.
Felsenfeld, on page, I see a mistake here. I think it's just someone, not a typo, but made a procedural mistake. On page, I guess it would be 636, under the paragraph that says about the board. If you go down to about the middle of it, it says the board issues many types of permits to administer dental anesthesia and sedation. There is no permit to administer dental anesthesia. Every dentist learns that in school and learns how to do the injections. I think that word's supposed to be general, because there you require a special permit and special training.
Okay,
It should be general anesthesia and sedation. Those are permitted.
so do we have any board member discussion? Yes, Dr. Gruel?
Grewal. Just a question for general sedation. It could be we should mention mild, moderate, or we should just go with the general anesthetic. It just should be the common term for that.
I would keep it's gross. We have sedation permits, we have anesthesia permits, and I think that's what was intended here, but I think they put the wrong word in.
Yeah. Thank you, Doc.
Do you have any other board member discussion?
No discussion. I agree with Dr. Felsenfeld's suggestion.
Thank you. So Dr. Felsenfeld, would you like to make a motion? with
I'd
an
make a
amendment?
motion that we change the word dental to general anesthesia.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Chan.
And is there any, can you repeat the motion, please? Dr. Felsenfeld.
You want me to- I make a motion that we change in that paragraph where it says administer dental anesthesia, that needs to be changed to administer general anesthesia.
Okay, thank you. Any other board comments? No? Okay, are there any in-person public comments on the motion? And we're also approving the strategic plan, right? Dr. Felsenfeld?
Should be approving the change first.
The change first. Okay, we'll,
You could approve the future plan as a.
we can approve the strategic plan as amended? Is that okay with you?
It hasn't been amended until we approve it.
So we have to approve, it. Okay.
the amendment.
Okay, we'll finish the amendment. That's why I need you here, Dr. Felsenfeld. Okay.
Still a parliamentary geek out here.
Thank you. So we have a first and a second. Who was the second, please?
Chan.
Okay, Chan. So let's see, any in-person public comments on the motion? Any public comments on individuals participating in WebEx?
All right, WebEx, now is the time to raise your hand if you wish to comment on the motion. You can do that by tapping the hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a few more seconds to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request, you wish to continue with the motion?
Thank you. So we have a motion for an amendment. Can you please take the roll?
Thank you, Madam President. The motion is to approve the amendment to the 2026-2029 strategic plan beginning at page 32, moved by Dr. Felsenfeld, seconded by Dr. Chan. I'll now take the roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Chan, aye. Chang?
Chang, aye.
Chang, aye. David?
David, aye.
David, aye. Deerking, aye. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, aye.
Felsenfeld, aye. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, aye. Graywall?
Grewal, aye.
Graywall, aye. Ladin?
Ladin, aye.
Ladin, aye. Medina?
Medina, aye.
Medina, aye. Olage?
Olagi, aye.
Olage, aye. Takur?
Takur, aye.
Takur, aye. Vader Hobley?
Vader Hobley, aye.
Vader Hobley, aye. You?
You, aye.
You, aye. Madam President, the motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Deerkin. Now we will vote on the strategic plan as amended. Do we have any board discussion?
We need a motion.
I'll move to approve the strategic
Mr.
plan.
I
David?
can second that.
I'll second.
Or Medina.
Medina, second. Do we have any board discussion? Any in-person comments? Any public comments on individuals participating via WebEx?
All right, WebEx, if you'd like to make a comment on the new motion, please tap that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment longer to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request, do you wish to continue with the motion?
Thank you. Board Secretary Deerking, please take the roll.
Thank you, Madam President. The motion is to approve the 2026 to 2029 strategic plan moved by Mr. David, seconded by Ms. Medina. I'll now take the roll. Chan?
Chan, I.
Chan, I. Chang?
Chang, I.
Chang, I. David?
David, I.
David, I. Deer King, I. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, aye.
Felsenfeld, I. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, I. Graywell?
Graywell, aye.
Graywell, I. Larin?
Larin, aye.
Larin, I. Medina?
Medina, I.
Medina, I. Olage?
Olagi, I.
Olage, I. Takur?
Takur, aye.
Takur, I. Vaderhoble?
Vaderobli, I.
Vaderhoble, I. You?
You, I.
You, I. The motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Durkin. Let's see, we will now move on to Agenda Item 8, Dental Assistant Council, February 5th, 2026 Meeting Report, page 45. I will ask Jerry Fowler, Chair of the Dental Assistant Council, to present this agenda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jerry Fowler. I'm Chair of the Dental Assistant Council. I'll be presenting the DAC meeting report for the meeting held today, February 5th, 2026. After calling the meeting to order and establishing a quorum, public comment was taken. The November meeting minutes were approved. The executive officer report on recent board activities and updates were provided by board staff on dental assisting examination, licensing, and programs and course approvals. A brief update on the dental assisting and registered dental assistant duties working group review of proposed statutory updates related to DA and RDA definitions, duties, and supervision requirements was provided. On our agenda number 9, the DAC moved to support or if amended. And the section that we wanted to amend was to remove Business Profession Code 1750.1, Section B, Paragraph 1, and unstrike Section C, Paragraph 12, for submission to the board and state legislature to amend BPC sections 1675.5, 1741, 1750, 1750.1, and 1752.4 regarding dental auxiliaries. Then agenda 10A, the DAC moved to recommend to the dental board for submission to the California State Legislature the legislative proposal in attachment 1 to amend Business Perfection Codes, section 1621, 1628, 1633, 1635.5, 1638.1, 1724, 1750.1, 1753, 1753.5, 1754.5, and 1755 regarding dentistry. Then in agenda item 10B, the DAC moved to support if amended, which was striking the second sentence in paragraph I of Business Professions Code 1686 and renumbering accordingly. And that was to amend Business Professions Code 1628.7, 1686, 1718.2, 1718.3 to clarify the probationary license petition for reinstatement, termination, or modification of penalty, and cancel license and permit processes and requirements. And then lastly, our agenda item 9 or 11, it was an update and discussion on proposed regulations that was presented by Brant Nelson, legislative and regulatory specialist. And that concludes my report. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do you have any board member discussion on this item? Any in-person public comments? And any public comments from individuals participating on WebEx?
All right, WebEx, we're taking public comment on agenda item 8. If you'd like to make a comment, please raise a hand by tapping that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users, dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment now to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no requests, do you wish to continue with the agenda?
Thank you, Ms. Fowler. I really appreciate you being here, and congratulations on your presidency, and I enjoy working with the DAC very much. And thank you to all the council members. They do a wonderful job. Appreciate it. Okay, so we'll go on to the next agenda item number 9, discussion and possible action regarding appointment of dental assistant council members, page 46. Mr. Doherty?
Thank you, Madam President. I direct the board's attention to page 46 of the board packet. Under existing law, the Dental Assisting Council, or the DAC, as it's commonly referred to, considers all matters related to dental assistants in California and makes appropriate recommendations to the board. The DAC typically meets quarterly in conjunction with board meetings and at other times as it deems necessary. The DAC is comprised of the registered dental assistant member of the board, another member of the board, and 5 RDAs representing a broad range of dental assisting experience and as much experience and education as possible. DAC members are appointed by the board and serve at the board's pleasure. According to existing law, the board shall consider in its appointments of the 5 RDA members recommendations submitted by and incorporated nonprofit professional society associations and whose members is comprised of RDAs within the state. 2 of those members shall be employed as faculty members of a registered dental assisting educational program approved by the board and shall have been employed for at least the prior 5 years for faculty member appointments. 3 of those members, which shall include 1 registered dental assistant in extended function, or RDAEFs, shall be employed clinically in private practice or public safety net or dental health care clinics for clinical member appointments. All 5 of those members shall have possessed a current and active RDA or RDAEF license for at least the prior 5 years and shall not be employed by a current member of the board. The following council members, one of who was appointed as an RDA member of the council and the other as an RDA employed as a faculty member of a registered dental assisting educational program approved by the board, are seeking reappointment. Under current law, DAC members may serve no more than 2 full 4-year terms. Jessica Gerlach, RDA, was appointed to the council on May 14th of 2024, and her current term expires on March 20th of 2026. Ms. Gerlach has been a board licensed RDA since 2017 and holds an orthodontic assistant permit. She's currently the lead RDA at a private practice in Roseville, where she is responsible for back office operations. Ms. Gerlach is also an instructor at the Roseville Dental Academy, where she trains students in basic dental assistant duties, infection control, x-rays, and CPR basic life support. Ms. Gerlach currently serves on the council's dental assistant and registered dental assistant duties working group. Kara Miyasaki, RDA, was appointed to the council on February 10th of 2022. That current term expires on March 1st of 2026. Ms. Miyasaki has been serving as the program director and instructor for Foothill College Dental Assisting Program since 1991. She oversees all aspects of the program, including but not limited to hiring, budget, scheduling, curriculum, certifications, admissions, and CODA accreditation. Ms. Miyasaki served on the DAC Infectious Control Working Group and Dental Assistant Regulations Working Group and served as DAC Chair in 2024. The board is asked to consider the reappointment recommendations for each position separately. The board is being asked to consider the reappointment recommendations, again, for each position separately. Thank you, Madam President, and that concludes my presentation on this agenda item.
Thank you. So we will need an individual motion. First of all, we have Ms. Jessica Gerlach, RDA. Is there a motion to approve her reappointment?
Also move, and then I have a question for the executive director too.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that. Dr. Leary?
Yes, thank you. Do you have any board discussion on this? David?
My question is, so this is a staff is recommending reappointment, is that? Because I don't know these people at all.
Yeah, the a process that's outlined for recommendations for the DAC members that was described in the memo in my presentation was that we received input from several different sources, and yes, this is the recommendation.
Okay, thank
on who
you.
those.
They're here, you're present, right? Can you please stand up?
Oh.
All right. Thank you.
And they've already been on the council, they're reappointed. Any other board member discussion?
Just one clarification, Madam President, for purposes of the roll call. This term would begin March 21st.
Mr. Doherty.
The term would begin presumably the day after their current terms expire. So for Ms. Gerlach, that's March 20th, 2026. So this reappointment would take effect on March 20th, 2026.
March 20th. Okay.
And for Ms. Miyazaki, the reappointment would take effect on March 1st of 2026.
And is it a 2-year term?
4-year term.
4-year term, okay. Do you have any other comments from board members? But
Yeah, I was just going to add some context to when they were first appointed. So the board put together a subcommittee made of 2 board members. I was one of them. For Gerlach's appointment, there was 50+ applications that came through. Board staff goes through it. There's a whole Excel sheet that we look at to see if they meet the qualifications, and then we meet with them virtually to assess them. And then we come to the board with recommendation. And Kara Misaki went through the same process too during original appointment. So just for context for board members, I know we have some new, when they're originally reappointed, they do go through that assessment process.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
thank you. Any other board comments? Any other in-person comments? Any comments on WebEx?
All right, WebEx, we're taking public comment on agenda item 9. If you'd like to make a comment, please raise a hand by tapping that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand. We will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a few seconds now to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request, you wish to continue with the agenda?
Yes, so we have a first. Right? Yeah, you know, we have, yes, we're gonna make a motion. The motion has already been presented and seconded. Can we have a vote, please?
Yes, the motion is to appoint as a DAC member Jessica Gerlach for a 4-year term following the expiration of the current term. Moved and seconded. I'll now take roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Chan, aye. Chang?
Chang, aye.
Chang, aye. David?
David, aye.
David, aye. Deerking, aye. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, aye.
Felsenfeld, aye. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, aye. Graywell?
Graywell, aye.
Graywell, aye. Ladin?
Ladin, aye.
Ladin, aye. Medina?
Medina, aye.
Medina, aye. Olage?
Olagi, aye.
Olage, aye. Takur?
Takur, aye.
Takur, aye. Vader Hobley?
Vader Hobley, aye.
Vader Hobley, aye. You?
You, aye.
You, aye. The motion is unanimous.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to reappoint Kara Miyazaki?
Also move.
This is Chan. I'll move to reappoint Kara Miyazaki to the DAC.
I'll change it.
Chen Ching, okay. Very good.
I'll
Okay,
second.
so we have a first and a second, and do we have any board discussion? Do we have any in public comments? WebEx comments?
All right, WebEx, we have a new motion on the floor. If you'd like to make a comment, please tap that hand button at the bottom of your screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment now to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request, do you wish to continue with the motion?
Thank you, Board Secretary. Mr. Deerking, can you please call the roll?
Thank you. The motion is to appoint as a DAC member Kara Miyazaki on the expiration of her current term to a 4-year term. I'll now take the roll. Chan?
Chan, I.
Chan, I. Chang?
Chang, aye.
Chang, I. David?
David, I.
David, I. Deer King, I. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, aye.
Felsenfeld, I. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, I. Grewal?
Grewal, aye.
Grewal, I. Larin?
Larin, aye.
Larin, I. Medina?
Medina, aye.
Medina, I. Olage?
Olagi, aye.
Olage, I. Takur?
Takur, aye.
Takur, I. Father Hoble?
Father Hobley, I.
Father Hoble, I. You?
You, I.
You, I. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Board Secretary. We will now move on to agenda number 10, budget report on page 49. I will ask Wilbert Rumbau, Administrative Services Unit Manager, to present this agenda item.
Good morning, board members. Again, Wilbert Rumbawa, Administrative Services Unit Manager. I am going to provide a budget update for this current quarter. My materials, you can find my presentation in the board meeting materials on pages 49 through 54. To date, the board's appropriation is 20.4 million. And of that, the board is expected to expend roughly 18.6 million for this fiscal year. It's going to be 10.9 million in personnel and 7.7 million in operating equipment and expenses. Based on that report, the board is expected to revert 1.9 million for the fiscal year, which provides us with approximately 14.9 months in reserve for fiscal year 25-26. This has been an informational topic. There's no actions required. If you have any questions for me at this time, I am here for your pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Rumbau. Do we have any board member comments?
This is a good news report.
It's a good news report.
Yeah, it really is. No, I'm impressed. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Any board member?
Yeah, so this 1.9 million, so does it accrue interest?
So the 1.9 million does not, it will go back to our fund at the end of the fiscal year. The amount that did collect interest was the general fund loan of $5 million. And we collected approximately $132,000 in interest on that.
And we got paid already, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
That was paid last fiscal year.
Any other board member questions or comments? Okay, any in-person comments? And WebEx comments, please?
All right, WebEx, agenda item 10. If you'd like to make a comment, raise that hand by tapping the hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment longer to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no requests, do you wish to continue?
Thank you, moderator. Okay, we'll move on. We'll have lunch around 12, I believe. So we still have, well, we're going to go see agenda item number 11 here. Update on dental licensure and permit statistics, page 55. I will ask Jody Ortiz, Chief of Licensing and Examination Division, to present this agenda item. Thank you for being here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you and congratulations to everyone on their reappointments and new appointments. As you mentioned, my name is Jody Ortiz and I am the Chief of Licensing and Examination Division, and I will be presenting agenda 11, item 11A, which begins on page 55 of your meeting materials. But before I get started, I have with me today Kelly Garcia. She is our new Licensing and Examination Manager. And Kelly has been with the board since December of 2025. And this is her first board meeting. So I wanted to introduce her here to you all today. This memo provides an overview of application statistics, law and ethics examination statistics, and licensing and permit statistics for the Dental Board Licensing and Examination Division from fiscal years 22 through 23 through December 31st, 2025. Also in your materials, beginning on page 65, are the tables that provide statistics on current and active dental licenses by county and on population per dental license. This data is provided by the Department of Finance Demographic Research Unit as of July 1st, 2025. Yuba County still has the highest population per dentist, and both Alpine and Sierra counties continue to have the lowest population per dentist. There is no action requested, and this concludes this agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any board comments or questions? Thank you.
Which county had the highest percentage of,
Yuba.
really, higher than San
The highest?
Francisco?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the ratio of population. It's the ratio.
And thank you for all the work you did when I went to visit your office. It was a lot of information.
welcome.
You do a lot for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other board member discussions or comments? Any public comments? In-person public comments? And DCA moderator, please open up the WebEx.
All right, WebEx, we're taking public comment once again. If you'd like to make a comment, tap that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment now to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request, do you wish to continue with the agenda?
Okay, thank you. We will now move to agenda item number 12, presentation on California State Loan Repayment Program and Scholarship Programs for Oral Health Professionals, Department of Healthcare Access and Information, HCI, page 68. I will ask representatives from HCI to make their representation on this agenda item. Are they here? They're going to be on WebEx. They're going to be on WebEx. They're not going to be here. So if they're ready.
This is the moderator. Can I, this is for HCI?
Yes.
Hold on just a moment. We have.
Do you want to move? Would you like to move? We're going to allow the board members to move so they can see. We don't have a visual from angle. Please give us a moment. Can you see Dr. Yu? Are you ready? Okay, I think we're ready. Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Jalaunda Granville, if you are available for a
Good
mic check.
morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Thank you. I sent my presentation ahead of time, so I'm not sure if that is available or how this is working. Should I just go ahead and just get started?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Jolanda Granville, and I am the Federal Policy and State Special Projects Section Chief at the Department of Healthcare Access and Information. And I'm pleased to be here today to present some information about some of our programs. It's my understanding that we were invited because there was some questions from this board about access to care and what programs that HCI is administering that have to do with incentivizing providers for practicing in underserved areas. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and move along. Oh, thank you. Presentation is there. So my agenda for today, and I know you all are excited about getting up and getting to go to lunch, so I'm going to try to move quickly. I believe all of this information will be available to you in your packet, and myself, as well as the team here at the Department of Healthcare Access and Information, are always available for questions and inquiries. So my agenda today is I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Department of Healthcare Access and Information for those of you who aren't familiar with the department. And then I'm going to discuss specifically some of our grant programs that are available for oral health professionals. Next slide. HCI's vision is a healthier California where all receive equitable, affordable, and quality health care. Our mission is to expand equitable access to affordable health care for all Californians through resilient facilities, actionable information, and the health workforce that each community needs. Next slide, please. These are our broad program areas: affordability, workforce, which is the office that I reside in, our data collection, facilities, and financing. Next slide, please. And our health workforce approach specifically is to develop, support, and expand a workforce that, of course, serves medically underserved areas, serves Medi-Cal members, and again, reflects and responds to the needs of California's population. And we do that, I'm sorry, go back to the other side. We do that specifically in geographic areas and to populations who lack access to primary care services. And we accomplish this by providing financial assistance that helps organizations build their workforce pipeline, expand educational capacity, supports individuals pursuing health careers, and organizations supporting providers and addressing retention through the disciplines of behavioral health, nursing and midwifery, primary care, and oral health are our primary focuses. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to delve into an area of our organization that many of you might be curious about, and it'll just be a little sampling so that you have an understanding of kind of how we what guides our services. This is not my area of expertise. This is our research and evaluation branch, and so they're definitely available to answer more questions about this. But specifically, our workforce development work is guided by principles around understanding where the gaps in our state exist, right? So we have introduced a tool called the HCI Supply and Demand Models, and these tools model where exactly there are shortages within our state. So the HCI Supply and Demand Models collect a range of valuable data, including the current supply of healthcare workers by specialty, the geographical distribution of healthcare workers by specialty, the diversity of the healthcare workforce by specialty, including data on race, ethnicity, and languages spoken, the current and forecasted demand for healthcare workers by specialty, the capacity of educational programs to train healthcare workers, including details on slots, enrollment, attrition, and wait time. The primary purpose of our supply and demand models are to support the state's efforts in health professions development by providing detailed and reliable information about the healthcare workforce. Next slide, please. Here's an example of the data visualization tool that HCI made using our supply and demand modeling. We are looking at a projection of behavioral health workforce shortages in the year 2033 if current workforce trends continue. If you visit on the HCI website, you will find that it is an interactive data visualization that provides role and geography-specific views of workforce supply and demand. It also highlights current and projected gaps and identifies where shortages are most acute, enabling users to better understand workforce challenges and make data-informed decisions. As the graphic on this slide reveals, every county, other than Humboldt County, is projected to have a shortage of behavioral health workers. This is just one of the many uses of the supply and demand modeling data. This data can be found, the data can be used to view shortages from 2022 going all the way up to 2023. If you're curious about any underlying data and comprehensive methodology, the documentation is all available publicly through the Health and Human Services Open Data Portal. It's my understanding that the research and evaluation team is currently working on oral health supply and demand modeling, and so that should be available soon. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to speak specifically about HCI's grant programs that dental professionals are eligible for. Next slide. The first one is the County Medical Service Program. And this is made up of several different programs. One of them is the Loan Repayment Program, which was established in 2016. It aims to increase the number of appropriate trained allied healthcare professionals in California by encouraging those professionals to provide direct patient care in an approved CMSP site. Next slide, please. So here are the site requirements are that they must have executed contract with CMSP Governing Board, be on the CMSP approved list, and be located in one of the 35 participating counties. Next slide, please. So the CMSP Loan Repayment Program assists with the repayment of qualified educational loans for healthcare professionals who provide primary care, behavioral health, or dental services at an approved site located in one of the 35 designated counties. The participants are awarded up to $50,000 in repayment grants in exchange for a 1 to 2 year service obligation at an eligible practice site. Participants can continue with the CMSP program as long as they are eligible. Next slide, please. Eligible disciplines and specialties include general dentists, and I highlighted that one as I knew that one was probably the most interest to this group, but there are other eligible disciplines and specialties. Next slide, please. The next program is the Allied Healthcare Loan Repayment Program, and the eligible applicants may receive loan repayments of up to $16,000 in exchange for 12-month service obligation, practicing and providing, again, direct patient care in one of those contracted provider sites in one of the 35 designated counties. Participants can continue, like in the other program, as long as they remain eligible. Next slide, please. And the last one under CMSP is the Allied Healthcare Scholarship Program. Participants are eligible for up to $25,000 in exchange for that 12-month service commitment. And again, in those 35 counties, designated contracted provider sites, and they can continue as long as they're eligible. Next slide, please. And for this particular program, dental assistants and dental hygienists are the most applicable eligible discipline specialties for this program. Next slide. So for the clinicians, their requirements are that they must possess a valid and unrestricted license to practice in California, have no existing service commitment or obligation to another entity. They must be current on all child support payments, have unpaid educational loans, and be employed at a CMSP site, and committed to providing that established service obligation. Next slide, please. The 2026 applications cycles are yet to be scheduled. I just want to encourage all of you to please sign up to receive our Workforce Programs Update newsletter, and there is information on how to do that at the end of this presentation. Next slide, please. Next, I'm going to discuss the California State Loan Repayment Program. This assists in the repayment of educational loans for healthcare professionals who commit to serving in federally designated health professional shortage areas or federally qualified health centers. The goal is to increase the number of appropriate trained health professionals providing direct care and encourage them to provide health care in California's health professional shortage areas. The State Loan Repayment Program awards eligible providers with up to $50,000 in educational loan repayment grants in exchange for a 2-year service commitment and 1 additional year for continuing grantees. So if they are already being awarded for the 2-year service commitment, they can then be awarded again for an additional year. Next slide, please. Eligible professions for the State Loan Repayment Program include dentists, DDS, DMD, and registered dental hygienists, RDH. Next slide, please. The applicant requirements are you must be a U.S. citizen, possess a valid and unrestricted license or certification to practice in one of 21 eligible disciplines and again, I just discussed the dental applicant requirements, have no existing commitment or service obligation to any other program, be free of judgments against any federal debt, not be in breach of any other healthcare profession service obligation, and have government and commercial loans obtained from qualifying lenders for their undergraduate and graduate health professions degrees. Next slide, please. And again, here are the service obligations, full-time and part-time, and I'm not going to go through and read through those. Next slide, please. The application cycles for the state loan repayment program, the application should open on July 15th of 2026 and close on September 15th, 2026, with award notifications happening in early 2027 and grants starting in spring of 2027. And again, I would encourage you all to sign up for the Workforce Programs Update newsletter so that you're made aware when that application cycle opens, if you or your colleagues or anybody you know is interested in those, in applying for this program. Next slide, please. So for the state loan repayment program, unfortunately, this year our state funding is limited. We have $333,000. Federal funding may be available again in future cycles, but that's what we have this year with no federal funding being contributed to the program. New for this grant cycle, there is a federally mandated match requirement where all awards made to grantees are matched dollar for dollar by non-federal funds by participating organizations and practice sites. For example, a grantee awarded $50,000 will receive $25,000 in award funds from HCI, and then the matching $25,000 would come from the grantee's employer. Participation in the state loan repayment program is optional for organizations and practice sites. Therefore, if a site chooses not to participate or able to do so, applicants from that site will not be eligible for the state loan repayment program. Next slide, please. And here are the practice site eligibility requirements. I'm not going to read through those in the interest of time. Next slide, please. And these are the award amounts based on the commitment and whether it's part-time or full-time employment. And next slide, please. And with that, I leave you with a link to our website. Well, not a link to our website, but our website is here listed on this slide. And so if you need additional information about any of the specifics of those programs, the grant guides are located there for you to review. And also you can use that website to, excuse me, sign up for our Workforce Programs Update newsletter. And I think there's one more slide that has, so this is a QR code for our website as well as all of our social media. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Ms. Granville. That's really exciting information. And I know we're going to have a really good and motivated Access to Care Committee. And Mr. Doherty is really invested in that too.
Fantastic.
So do we have any board member discussion?
Yes, this is Chan.
Dr. Chan.
Okay, first of all, thank you for your work.
You're welcome. Thank you for your work.
Well, commentary. 2001, when the California Dental Association debuted its foundation, among its debut was a pilot prototype program for loan repayment on student debt for dentists serving in shortage areas.
Awesome.
It was the first of its kind in California, and I believe at least in the West. And in that time, there are a couple of things. First of all, in 25 years, they probably have a lot of history on what was the return on investment of having the shortfall of those areas in shortage areas and how they treated. So there's a return on investment. It has a historical perspective, and it also has a, what did you learn? What did they learn in 25 years of doing that?
Mm-hmm.
The second is a comment, and Again, this is the beginning of the program, and it looks like the 50,000 comes up again and again. Realize that dental students across the country have debt anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 in student debt. We need to put that into the equation on the recruitment to go to those areas. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have
You might.
Any other board member questions or comments? Mr. David?
Robert David, I mean, I don't know what the state funding was before, but for the state loan repayment program to only have $333,000 in state funding and no federal match available, I mean, yeah, you could almost shut it down. I mean, it just doesn't, you're not going to help hardly anybody. It's kind of unfortunate. Just a comment.
Thank you for your comment. Any other board member comments?
I'd like to second that.
You second that? I do have a question. Can the applicants apply to all of them concurrently, or does it have to be separate, or how does that work?
Typically, the application cycles are not at the same time. So, we would encourage applicants to apply for as many programs as they're eligible for. But once you become obligated by one program, of course, you can't access any of the others.
You can access the others also?
You can't. You cannot.
You cannot. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. And it looks like we're going to be posting this on the website, right? The presentation. So you'll be able to see that soon there. And any other comments from the public? How about any WebEx comments, please, moderator?
All right, WebEx, if you'd like to make a comment on the presentation, please raise a hand by tapping that hand button. Dial-in users, dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a few more seconds to see if we have a request for public comment. And our first request is coming from Ariane Turlette. Hold on just a moment, please. We're sending you a request to unmute your microphone.
Yes, thank you. This is Ariane Turlette, and I'm the Chief Dental Officer for La Clínica de la Raza in East Oakland. Can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Turlette.
Okay. Hi, good. How are all? Nice to see everybody, and congratulations on your appointments. My first question, and I understand that $333,000 isn't a lot of money, but every little bit helps, in particular in our health center, since we participate in this. Can I ask you on the $333,000, is that the money that is that the state will distribute? And so basically, if we're paying 50% of that, that it actually is $663,000 that is going to student loans?
Well, I'm imagining that question is for me. So for that,
Yes, thank you.
the loan repayment is up to $50,000. $25,000 would come from the state, and the other $25,000 would come from the employer. So I guess, in a sense, yeah, with the employer match being another $333,000, then it would be the 666. Yes.
Okay, so that's better. And then the other question is that in terms of like some of the HRSA and other loan repayment programs, is this taxable? Is this taxable to the person that is receiving the money? So basically, it adds on to their salary, or is this not included in their salaries?
I can't comment on that part because I think depends on the individual, but that is something that you can certainly bring up and ask as a part of the application cycle. It's my understanding that it's kind of on a case-by-case basis, and it's not something that that staff can necessarily comment on.
So I guess why? Okay, so I guess it's either, I'm going to say I don't know that it would be case by case, because it's either taxable, it's either tax dollars or not tax dollars. I can check in a different way. And
Yeah.
just wanted to, for
I'm so
loan.
sorry.
No, that's okay. You
I'm
don't
not
know.
able to comment
It's-
on that. I apologize.
It's fine. I know that some programs, it's like if you have, you get the $50,000, it is tax-free, and in
30 seconds.
some programs, it's not. But thank you so much. Every little bit helps, and we really appreciate that you're continuing this program.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Dr. Chalet. Dr.
Thank
Chalet
you.
is a past board member and president of the dental board. Hi.
Hi, past
Thank you.
board
Thank
member,
you for
not
commenting.
president, but thank you so much.
Let's see, do you have any other WebEx comments?
That was our only request for public comment.
Okay, thank you. And it looks like we're going to break for lunch until 1:15. Okay, everybody, we will meet you back here at 1:15.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Goodness.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, we're ready.
Secretary. Okay, we're missing the secretary. Oh,
He's here.
He's here.
It's just.
He's got to be here.
can we start with the secretary?
Let's wait for him.
Do we have WebEx? Is that ready?
WebEx is ready.
Thank you.
There's nothing going on. We have our attorney here? Yeah.
We're on agenda item number 13, elective facial cosmetic surgery, a permit credentialing committee, January 14, 2026 meeting report on page 69. I will ask Ms. Ortiz to present this agenda item.
Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Jody Ortiz, and I'm the Chief of the Licensing and Examination Division, and I will be presenting Agenda Item 13, which begins on page 69 of your meeting materials. Reporting on the January 14th, 2026 meeting of the Elective Facial Cosmetic Surgery Permit Credentialing Committee, otherwise known as EFCS. For those new to the board, the EFCS permit was initiated into statute in 2006 and became effective January 1, 2007. The committee meets as needed on a quarterly basis to review and discuss applications. Upon a complete review of the application, the committee shall make a recommendation to the board on whether to issue or not issue a permit to the applicant in either Category 1, Category 2, or Category 3, which includes both Category 1 and 2. And Business and Professions Code 1638.1 establishes this permit.
Ms. Ortiz,
Yes.
we're just going to pause for a moment. This is Tara Welch, Board Counsel. We just need to do a double check for Dr. Chan's video.
Got it.
Dr. Chan, can you,
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
great, thank you so much.
You want me to start over?
No.
No, I was on. Sorry.
The categories are Category 1 procedures consist of cosmetic contouring of the osteocartilaginous, which is hard tissue facial structure, which includes but is not limited to rhinoplasty or autoplasty. Category 2 procedures consist of cosmetic soft tissue contouring or rejuvenation, which includes but is not limited to facelift, lip augmentation, and blepharoplasty. The EFCS Permit Credentialing Committee met on January 14th, 2026 via teleconference and in person with 3 members present, establishing a quorum. This was also Dr. Peter Shear's first committee acting as chair. No public comments were received, and the committee approved the October 8, 2025 meeting minutes by unanimous vote. Also, as noted in your meeting materials starting on page 70 to 72, the committee members considered one EFCS permit application during closed session. Applicant ON was presented to the October 8th EFCS meeting and currently holds a limited Category 2 permit for facial neurotoxins and fillers, and applied for an enhanced category permit, which includes both Category 1 and 2. At the October 8th, 2025 EFCS meeting, additional documentation was requested and the application was tabled. No action was requested at the November board meeting. At the January 14, 2026 EFCS meeting, the committee re-reviewed applicant ON's application and the additional documentation presented. For Category 1, the committee stated the applicant submitted a limited number of operative reports in this category to show competency in elective facial cosmetic surgery. The committee agreed that the applicant did not meet the requirements to qualify for Category 1 hard tissue. For Category 2, the applicant previously provided 3 Botox and 9 facial filler reports, but only provided 1 additional operative report, which was for a facelift. While the applicant met the statutory requirement for Category 2, the committee agreed that the applicant did not demonstrate competency beyond Botox and facial fillers procedures to grant a permit in Category 2 and would pose a threat to consumer protection. After review, the committee recommended denial of the application for Category 3 EFCS permit as the applicant failed to provide 10 operative reports demonstrating competency and performing procedures within 5 years from the date of the application as the first surgical assistant for issuance in Category 1 per the statute, and did not demonstrate competency for any other than facial fillers and Botox procedures for issuance of a Category 2. Staff is requesting that the board is asked to consider the committee's recommendation on the application of ONDDS for Category 3 EFCS permit. The board is asked to take one of the following actions. Option 1, support the proposed recommendation, which is moved to deny the application of ONDDS for a Category 3 EFCS permit. Option 2, grant the application in part. Move to grant a Category 2 EFCS permit to applicant ONDDS. And option 3, no action. Return the EFCS permit application of ON to the committee to request and or review additional application information. If this option is selected, please list the type of description and additional information the board seeks.
Do we have any board member discussion?
This is Chan, gonna move for option 1.
Is there a second? I do have a question. Is it customary to give a permit with only one option? Or is the whole thing or nothing?
No, they have the option of applying for Category 1, Category 2, or Category 3, which includes both. So they can do either or both.
We do have applicants that apply only for number 2,
Yes.
and they do receive it, and this person qualified for that. You're saying, right?
This is Board Member Forge, and I have a question. And
Okay, one moment, please. What Ms. Welsh wants to say.
Tara Welch, Board Counsel. So the committee reviewed the application and the supplemental reports that the committee requested be submitted in support of the application, and the committee determined that there were insufficient reports to justify issuing either a Category 1, a Category 2, or a Category 3 permit. And I do just want to clarify that the committee they do have discretion to issue a Category 1 or Category 2 permit, even though a Category 3 application was submitted. So if the committee determines that the applicant does qualify for 1 or 2, they could recommend approval of a 1 or 2 permit. But in this case, the committee determined that even after requesting additional supplemental reports, the applicant did not meet the criteria for a Category 1, 2, or 3 permit.
I misunderstood. I thought you said did satisfy all the number 2 requirements.
As far as operative reports that were provided, we request that they have 10 operative reports. So if they're applying for Category 1 and Category 2, they have to provide 10 operative reports in each category. And the board agreed that those operative reports, even though they submitted the 10, they didn't meet the criteria outside of Botox and facial fillers.
Okay. Dr. Forge, do you have a question?
yes, I did. Did he have a permit before?
Yes, they did. They had a limited Category 2, which was
Okay.
just only for Botox and facial fillers.
Okay, and if we grant option 2, is that equivalent to what he had before?
No, the current one is for unlimited. The prior one was limited.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that clarifies it. Any more board member discussion? Any public comments in the audience? Any WebEx comments?
All right, WebEx, now is the time to tap that hand button if you wish to make a comment. Dial-in users, dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a few more seconds to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request, you wish to continue?
Yes, thank you. So we have motion and a second. Any more board comments? No? Okay. So we will now call the roll.
Thank you. The motion is in re ONDDS to deny the EFCS Category 3 permit, moved and seconded. I'll now call the roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Chan, aye. Chang?
Chang, aye.
Chang, aye. David?
David, aye.
David, aye. Deer King, aye. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, yes.
Felsenfeld, yes. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, aye. Graywell?
Graywell, yes.
Graywell, yes. Larin?
Letting yes.
Larin, yes. Medina?
Medina, yes.
Medina, yes. Olage?
Olagi, yes.
Olage, yes. Takur?
Takur, yes.
Takur, yes. Bader Hobley?
Bader Hobley, yes.
Bader Hobley, yes. You?
You, yes.
You, yes. It's unanimously passed.
Thank you. Are you finished? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll move on to agenda number 14A, general anesthesia and sedation permits, inspection and evaluation statistics, page 73. I'm going to ask Jessica Olney, anesthesia and customer service and support unit manager, to present this agenda item.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Loren. Members of the board, my name's Jessica Olney. I'm the anesthesia unit manager. And presenting this item are statistics on the general anesthesia, medical general anesthesia, and moderate sedation on-site inspection and evaluations that were completed so far in the first 2 quarters of 2025, and also the 3 previous fiscal years. Also included in this memo are the current number of the evaluator pool, and that's evaluators that conduct the on-site inspections and evaluations. The information is purely informational, but I am available if you have any questions. Before taking any questions, I would like to add, on December 10th of 2025, Dr. Felsenfeld and I provided a evaluator calibration course that was done virtually. We had 230 people in attendance. These are current evaluators for both the moderate sedation and general anesthesia program. And we also invited new permit holders who would like to sign up to become evaluators. Since then, we've had about 40 new evaluators who have joined. I know it's very good numbers. At the same time, we also have had many permit holders who have retired and who no longer hold permits. So our numbers remain stable, but it was a great opportunity to meet with a lot of the permit holders, give them information, and also take feedback from them.
Thank you, Ms. Olney. In the past, we had some problems with the trying to bring in evaluators. That's very good news. Thank you. It's finished? Do we have any board member questions?
Yes, I do have a question. Thank you for the good news. Bad news, not so much, but we changed the rules a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago. We changed the rules that on the secondary evaluation, 1 evaluator is enough. Has that made it easier for you to schedule? I mean, are we not having to cancel or looking around for evaluators more or less?
Yes, this was actually part of the board sunset bill.
Yes.
In 2024, what we've done now is we require 2 evaluators when someone is being evaluated for their first time or in the event that there's a failure. Every subsequent evaluation moving forward, there's only 1 evaluator required. So it has helped being able to schedule the evaluations quickly. It's very difficult to coordinate with the number of people that are needed when you consider the evaluation. It's the permit holder, it's their staff, it's 2 evaluators to get everyone coordinated in one location at one time, and anything can throw it into chaos. So yes, it is very helpful.
Thank you. Do any other board members have questions or comments? How about in-person public comments? And any public comments from individuals participating in WebEx? DCA moderator, please open the lines.
All right. Now is the time to raise a hand for agenda item 14. If you'd like to make a comment, tap that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3. We will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment now to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request, do you wish to continue?
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Holman. Appreciate it. We'll move on to agenda item 15A, Diversion Program Report and Statistics, page 84. I'm going to ask Paige Regali, Chief Administrator and Compliance, to present this agenda item.
Good afternoon. My name is Paige Regali. I'm the Chief Administration of Compliance with the board, and today I'm going to present agenda item 15A, which begins and is only on page 84 of your meeting materials. This memo is just an overview of the diversion program statistics, which includes information on participants and any positive drug tests reported. Our next diversion evaluation committee meeting is scheduled for next Wednesday, February 11th. There is no action requested, and this concludes the agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you. Any board questions? One second. Any board questions? Mr. David?
Could you explain, so many of the cases that we review involve substance abuse. A lot of the probationers are on probation because of substance abuse, but there's so few people in this diversion program. Can someone explain that to me?
Sure. So we have uniform standards, which essentially is criteria that we look at for determining whether a licensee is substance abusing, if they're considered a substance abusing licensee or not. So it really depends. A lot of our licensees that we get that do go through disciplinary action. Some of them are criminal convictions. Some of them, do have substance abuse information in them, but they don't all reach that criteria of being considered a substance abuse licensee, which would then have them fall under the uniform standards, which dictates the certain terms and conditions that we would apply to their probationary terms. So there's different reasons why they could have provided rehabilitation. It's different mitigating criteria that we review when we're determining the terms of the licensees, which is the reason why we don't have as many participants here. It's also because we want to make sure that our probationers are successful. So the goal of probation is to rehabilitate the licensees and to not be punitive. So we are trying to evaluate and determine what the best course of action would be in order for us to rehabilitate the licensees. And not all of the cases are extreme enough for them to be within the uniform standards, which would require participation and diversion.
Thank you. Do you have any other board discussion?
This is Chan.
Dr. Chan?
I'd like to make a request through the executive officer to have a presentation by the Diversion Evaluation Committee Chair. It's been some time since we had that public testimony by the chair, and putting a human face and a human voice on what we're looking at and why we do what we do, versus just seeing the statistics, can help us understand why we do what we do. So again, it's to request a presentation by the chair, or whoever is the chair now, of the Diversion Evaluation Committee, and the human story behind it. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Chan. So this is Paige. I just wanted to comment and let you know that it's already in the works and we should be having it at our August or November meeting.
Thank you, Paige. Thank you.
No problem.
And we also have a new chair for substance abuse, Mr. Dearkin. Hopefully he will join in that presentation. Do you have any other board member comments? Any in-person comments?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Guy Atchison. I'm representing the California Academy of General Dentistry. This discussion on the diversion program, I think, is excellent. And your explanation about why so few people are in this program was very long and technical. And I'd like to ask that when this presentation is made, that they use some real world examples of multiple people, maybe 5 examples of people that are considered for this diversion program but didn't make the grade. I don't understand at all what the cutoff is, and if you're only allowing people in this program that are virtually guaranteed to be successful, I'd like to hear that.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you, Dr. Hickson. Are there any other in-person public comments? On the webcast, any comments on the webcast, please open up. for
All right.
comments.
WebEx, if you'd like to make a comment, please tap that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users dial *3 to raise your hand. We will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a few more seconds to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no request online, do you wish to continue?
Thank you, DCA moderator. Thank you, Ms. Regali. Appreciate it. We'll move on to agenda item 16, discussion of and possible action regarding Government Code Section 11340.6, petition to adopt, amend, and repeal regulations regarding complaint intake, review, evaluation, and closure procedures on page 85. I'll ask Tara Welsh, Board Counsel, Legal Affairs Division, to present this agenda item. Is that correct? You're going to do it, Tara?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so my meeting memo is available for agenda item 16 in the materials. I will summarize the meeting memo. Last November, the board received a petition to adopt, amend, or repeal regulations regarding the board's complaint intake, review, evaluation, and closure procedure. The petition is attached to the memo as attachment 1 and begins on page 96 of the meeting materials. The petition asks the board to do 3 things. First, the petition asks the board to identify specific regulations that govern the board's use of dental consultants, the evaluation criteria used to determine whether evidence supports a violation, and the standards used when deciding whether to close a complaint. Second, if no such regulations exist, the petition asks the board to initiate a formal rulemaking to adopt regulations that clearly define the complaint evaluation process, the consultant review process, and the evidentiary standards guiding case closure. Third, if the board maintains that existing regulations already govern these procedures, the petition asks the board to cite each regulation by section number and provide a copy of those regulations to the petitioner. The petition did not identify any reference to board authority to take the actions requested or specify the provisions in the CCR that the petitioner is requesting be adopted, amended, or repealed. Sorry about that. By CCR, I mean the California Code of Regulations. Pages 3 through 6 of the meeting memo provides the statutory and regulatory requirements regarding promulgation of regulations and discussion of the board's review and potential actions on complaints submitted to the board. Other than the referenced statutes, regulations, and internal processing guidelines, the board does not have any regulations for the board's use of dental consultants, the evaluation criteria used to determine whether evidence supports a violation, and the standards used when deciding whether to close a complaint. Regarding evaluative criteria used to determine whether evidence supports a violation, such criteria would be applied to violations of the Dental Practice Act on a case-by-case basis and reviewed pursuant to the applicable standards of practice. Pages 6 to 8 of the meeting memo discuss the petition procedures and background of the steps the board has taken to date. In response to requests 1 and 3 of the petition, the petitioner was provided copies or links of relevant laws, internal complaint processing guidelines, and frequently asked questions. On or about January 22, 2026, a notice of the board's consideration of the petition at this board meeting was sent to the petitioner. An analysis of the petition is provided on pages 8 through 10 of the memo. Concerns with the petition include the following. It is unclear what regulations the board would promulgate to satisfy petition request number 2 to adopt regulations that clearly define the complaint evaluation process, the consultant review process, and the evidentiary standards guiding case closure. The board is not required to promulgate a regulation to implement internal procedures to manually process, evaluate, or investigate complaints, or that would enable the violator to avoid detection, facilitate disregard of requirements imposed by law, and clearly give improper advance notice to a licensee against whom administrative disciplinary action may be taken. Further, the board is not required to disclose information that reflects its investigative analysis or conclusion or provide justification of the need for secrecy on a case-by-case basis. Creating regulations to advise violators of the board's evaluation criteria would compromise the review and investigation of alleged violations, make it easier for violators to circumvent laws and regulations, prejudice the outcome of current or future investigations or the board's confidential deliberative process, and undermine the board's ability to perform its enforcement functions. Due to the variety of alleged violations under the Dental Practice Act and complaints submitted to the board, varying evidence available to substantiate the violation, and potential need for standard of care review by various or independent experts, it is unclear how the board could develop complaint evaluation and evidentiary standards regulations that would apply in every complaint case. Even if such standards could be possibly promulgated in regulation, such evaluation criteria likely would reveal staff and consultant investigative analysis of evidence and assist violators in avoiding board investigation and enforcement. Further, the petition fails to specify any regulatory text for adoption, amendment, or repeal, provides no reference to the board's authority under which the board would take the action requested, and fails to identify the particular code sections or other provisions of law to be implemented, interpreted, or made specific. As such, the board has no ability to provide notice of the proposed board regulatory action, draft an informative digest, or determine whether the regulation would impose a mandate. In addition, without proposed regulatory text, the Department of Finance would be unable to prepare the required fiscal estimate. For each of these reasons, the board is unable to take any action in response to petition request number 2. The board is asked to review the issues raised in the meeting memo and take an action on the petition. The board can either deny the petition or grant the petition and set the matter for hearing. As discussed in the meeting memo, I am recommending option 1 for a motion to deny the petition and approve the proposed decision drafted in attachment 2 to be sent to the petitioner and for filing and publication in the California Regulatory Notice Register. The draft decision starts on page 101 of the meeting materials. Board members, please let me know if you have any questions.
Do you have any more discussion? Any more discussion? Do we have a motion? We have two options, 1 and 2. Do you have any, I mean, I'm still a little bit confused, I am. It's very difficult, but if you can just go over it in a little bit, not so detailed. There's some, how it happened. There was a petitioner and she asked for this, and then how do we end up, and we didn't have anything to respond to her because it wasn't already in the regulations, right? Is that correct? I just want to understand it a little bit better.
So the petitioner requested the board provide regulations, statutes, internal guidelines that the board uses to evaluate complaints and evidence received by the board. The board responded with the internal guidelines that staff uses. Those internal guidelines are primarily how to receive a complaint, how to log it in the computer system, that kind of thing. It has to apply to all complaints received. So when we get to specific violations alleged in a complaint, it is very difficult for the board to have any specific regulation that applies to every single complaint that's submitted to the board. So the board does not have any regulations or internal guidelines that speak to every single complaint and how to evaluate the allegations made in the complaint. So the board has responded with the written documentation it has with respect to how it evaluates complaints. So at this point, the petition side of this seeks the board to create regulations on how to evaluate complaints received by the board, repeal, which the board doesn't really have anything to repeal or amend. So that's the real crux here, is that the board doesn't have any regulations, and the board doesn't know how to create regulations that wouldn't signal to violators how to avoid detection of violations, or the board doesn't know how to create regulations that would apply in every single instance of an alleged violation.
May I move to deny the petition as noted in option 1?
This is Chan. I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any more board discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to, Felsenfeld, let me ask council one, I'm trying to put this into my simplistic terms. This person has got a problem with what we've said about what he's done or something, and that's okay, I understand that, I think. But we can tell him what our process is in terms of how we move paper around and how we use but he's asking us to make regulations about how we make judgments. So that's like going to the jury and saying, why did you think he was guilty or not guilty? What's your thinking process? We make judgments based on what our experts and our process tells us. So he's really very upset about what we told him initially, I guess, but we can't make regulations. You have to make this judgment when this happens. That's ludicrous. So I'm in favor of option 1.
You're in favor, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other board discussion? Any public comments in the audience? Any comments on WebEx?
All right, WebEx, we have a motion on agenda item 16. If you'd like to make a comment, please raise a hand by tapping that hand button at the bottom of the screen. Dial-in users, dial *3 to raise your hand, and we will call on people in the order we have requests. We're going to take just a moment longer to see if we have a request for public comment. Seeing no requests, you wish to continue with the motion?
Yes, thank you. Board Secretary, can you please call the roll and maybe mention the motion? I'm sorry, what?
Tara Welch, Board Counsel. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify what the motion is. It's from page 94. And the motion is to deny the petition and approve the proposed decision as drafted in attachment 2 to be sent to the petitioner and for filing and publication in the California Regulatory Notice Register.
Thank you. Okay, please call the roll, Mr. Secretary.
Should I restate the motion?
Can you?
Yes, regarding Government Code Section 11340.6, the motion is to deny the petition to adopt, amend, or repeal regulations regarding complaint intake, review, evaluation, and closure procedures, and to adopt the draft decision to be sent to petitioner and for publication. I'll now call the roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Chan, aye. Chang?
Chang, aye.
Chang, aye. David?
David, aye.
David, aye. Deerking is aye. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, aye.
Felsenfeld, aye. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, aye. Grewal?
Grewal, aye.
Grewal, aye. Larin?
Aye.
Larin, aye. Medina?
Medina, aye.
Medina, aye. Olage?
Olagi, aye.
Olage, aye. Takur?
Takur, aye.
Takur, aye. Waterhoble?
Waterhoble, aye.
Waterhoble, aye. And you?
You, aye.
You, aye. The motion is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We'll move on to agenda, sorry, yes?
Yes, that's true.
From a procedural perspective, so the decision will be mailed to the petitioner and it's required by law to be
Please state your
published.
name, please.
Christy Shield, Regulations Counsel for the board. Sorry. Apologies. So the next, the procedure after this is that the decision will be sent to the petitioner, but also is required to be published in the California Notice Register. So that attachment you just approved would be published. Then the petitioner has 60 days to appeal and ask you to reconsider your decision, in which case we'd be coming back to you with this item again. But that's what happens according to the Administrative Procedure Act. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, move on to agenda item number 17. The open session will be recessed now until tomorrow morning, Friday, February 6th, 2026 at 9 a.m. The board will now convene in closed session. Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Bear with me just a moment here. We're going to get members Forge and Chan into a separate space with the rest of the board.
Just tell us what we need to do.
Hang tight for a moment, please.
That's only if you're a surfer.
Yeah, man. We're all going to hang loose, catch some waves.